Hey internet, it's your favorite it girl Candace, and today I am going to be talking about being pretty for a black girl. Cause I was talking about like being like known as like a bougie black girl, so that just kind of, I don't know, if like the topics are kind of similar, and I have some more things to say. I'm gonna be doing my makeup because I have school. I have like a vanity, but like I'm just gonna do it with you guys. So the first thing I want to say, again, I grew up in the suburbs, so I don't know like anything outside of, you know, like what my white peers told me, and like I was raised on like their beauty standards and their beliefs and things, and like most of the times I was like the darkest person in my class. That's why for like the longest like time period in my life, I thought that I was dark skinned because of the way people treated me. Like, and this is like elementary school I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about high school. The way people treated me in like fucking kindergarten, you would have thought I looked African. It turns out I actually have a very mixed look. So a lot of times it was like, if I liked a guy and like he didn't like me back, it was probably because I'm black. Like, not to sound like everything is like always about race, but like in the school I grew up in the neighborhood I grew up in, it probably was. I don't know how my hair is dry. I put oil on it every day. Yeah, in the neighborhood I grew up in, it just was always relevant because 9 times out of 10 like locations I was in, I was the darkest person there. And like, this is why it's so important to educate your kids even if they're not black, because they do shit like this that like I'm still to this day talking about it to this day. Like, it still affected me even though it was kindergarten. Like, I know kindergartners don't understand racism, but I had this one situation in fucking like probably like first grade, and the kids like I was friends with, like, they would just always say like jokes about me being black, and they were like Hispanic and like Asian, like, so it's not like they weren't minorities too, like they were also minorities. That's why I don't believe in people of color, because they be the main ones that's racist to black people because they just want to be close to white and get that clout, but whatever. I had a situation when I was in like elementary school, and they made like another joke about me or something, because they just always would make fun of me. I don't fucking know, even though they were my friends. And basically I was just like, oh, it's because I'm black, right? And then my like librarian heard what I said, and you would think she when she came to us, she said, oh, she was like, that's a serious thing, like why would you joke about that? So you'd think like she'd be saying that to the girls who were like making fun of me, right? That's what she would think, right? Wrong. She said that to me. She said, why would I joke about racism? Like, and then she made us all sit down and like have a whole chat, and she was like, because I grew up with segregation, and like this is like a serious thing and all this stuff. And guess what? So because she just spoke to the class like in general, then everybody got mad at me for having her sit down and talk about something so boring like racism. So yeah, you can see why I'm so passionate about race, because that happened to me when I was probably like not even 10 years old. So it's like one of my earliest memories of life. Yeah. So a lot of times I just had to like assume, because again, I'm in a like white Hispanic neighborhood. Like, they're white people, but they're like somehow Hispanic. I have no idea how that works. So I just have to assume a lot of times, like when I'm liking a guy or whatever, I just have to assume like, okay, well, let's be realistic, probably don't even like black girls. Like, you know what I mean? Not even that black saying that either. So like that's like the spectrum like of how far this shit really goes. And I also noticed, the lash just fell out. I also noticed that like, so people are already jealous of me because I'm like pretty and smart or whatever. And people are always gonna be jealous, to be honest, but like that's why people are jealous of me particularly. I also noticed that like a lot of like the non-black girls, like, because they could be Hispanic too, a lot of times freaking Hispanics that did the things I'm talking about, they would be more jealous of me because in their head they're like, I'm supposed to have the advantage because I'm not black. Like, so the fact that this black girl is achieving all these things and she's freaking pretty, like, it just made them more mad. Like, my just existence made them more mad. And it was always like a weird competition thing that I never even signed up for. Why does this make, it's making my eyes look more puffy. Wait till we're broken, wait till we're sound. Yeah, so a lot of times they be, I know I look crazy. A lot of times they be more mad at me because I was black on top of like all the other things, and they feel like, I don't know, like how could this black bitch have like an advantage over me? Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing. And in my experience, I've always been like, oh, what just happened to my voice? I've always been exceptionally pretty. Like I said in my like being pretty sucks video, I've always been like exceptionally pretty. But I think the only reason that I'm exceptionally pretty is because you can tell I'm like mixed with something. And societies, since we live in America, are just we just live on Earth because everything is like relating to Europe. Being closer to white is more attractive. So I believe I have like this, oh my god, my nose is running, that I have this like European look. I don't have like a European look, but like my nose like to the side, like I don't even have to contour that particularly. And then like I have like evenly like almond eyes. Like I notice with white girls, their beauty standard is more like just having like even features, like not having anything stand out your face, just like even features. I know I look crazy. This is going to blend out. Trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I know I look crazy. I have to put this, I probably put too much. I probably put way too much. I was only supposed to put it under my eyes, but I got excited. Yeah, so I feel like I'm exceptionally pretty because particularly my nose, if it's not anything else. And when guys see me, like I have like this mixed look. So it's like you're getting, they feel like they're getting like a 2-in-1 deal with me. Because again, the way I act and the way I carry myself and the way I look. And I kind of like dress white. I don't dress, I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't dress white. But I think people, I don't know, since I'm not wearing like fucking bamboo hoops and like freaking long ass nails and fucking braids, people think I want to be white. Me putting on this light foundation isn't helping. I might have to wipe some of this off because I literally put way too much on my face with my makeup wipes. Yeah, so people try to, like, they think that I want to be white. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Yeah, so I've already had like that shit, and like guys like fetishizing me or whatever, or like thinking I'm like exotic looking, mostly because I have like a white nose and I wear like wigs, and then not getting accepted by like black guys because of that either. And it's just like, for me, I'm like in the like lucky spot where it's like, oh, I would be considered like pretty for a black girl, like because I don't have like specifically like the big nose. Like that's like the main thing, that's like a feature they don't like on black women. But if you don't have that, then it puts you in this weird fetishization category that's just as worse, because people don't really see you as a person. They just kind of see you as like, I don't know, they see you as like a fantasy more than a person, in like a best of both worlds scenario, because I don't fit the normal stereotype, which is just as gross, being called pretty for a black girl. So I've never been called that, like, to my face. Like, no one's ever said that to my face. But again, because I don't fit the like regular stereotypes with the way I dress, talk, and look naturally, that's what people mean when they call me pretty. That are like, I get a lot of like backhanded, like microaggression-y like compliments. Like, trying to think of, there was so many like instances like in high school. Like even in high school things got better because there was more black kids, but it also got worse because it was a school with all black kids and all white teachers. So that it was like kind of a weird experience. And I feel like it's just like fucked up, because I feel like only black girls experience this weird, not that the only ones who experience fetishization, but I feel like it's like black girls are considered like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to beauty. So it's like when you say like, oh, you're pretty for a black girl, or like, oh, well, I, like a white guy says like, oh, I like black woman, I love like chocolate. It's like, you see how it's like always comparing us to like an object or an animal, or like we can never just be like, you know what I mean? It's never like complimenting just us as a person. Like they have to compare us to like an object, an inanimate object. And like when you're saying like, oh, I like black women, it's like you're kind of like saying like, oh, look, see, I care about like the less fortunate. You know what I mean? Like it's like some weird activist thing. Like some reason saying you like black women is like such a strong statement. And it's weird because it's 2025, okay? Segregation, all that shit happened mad long ago. Well, it didn't happen that long ago. I'm not gonna say that. It didn't happen that long ago, but somehow, like saying you like black women, just like complimenting us in any way is like a shock and is like controversial, which is like so like sick and disgusting, because we should be past at least that stage. Like we know black women are beautiful, but it's still like taboo for like particularly a white guy to date a black girl. I don't know if it's more taboo because of the history behind it, but in that case it should be just as taboo for a white girl to date a black guy. But I feel like some reason it's not as controversial. And I think it's not as controversial to say like, oh, I like black men, because I don't know if I said this in my like bougie for a black girl video, being a bougie black girl video, like with black men, because blackness is already associated with masculinity, it makes sense. It's like, okay, they're like the peak of coolness and like the standard for guys, like, you know, to act and dress if they want to be like cool and like attractive. So like saying like a black guy is not like controversial if you're not black. of course you like a black guy. They're like the standard. But with black women, because we're seen with these stereotypes that make us seem like we're aggressive and loud and just overall like masculine and like animalistic and what's the word, like barbaric, saying you like a black woman when like the idea of womanhood like in Western and European societies is like this fragile white woman that's like a damsel in distress, and like black women are never depicted as damsels in distress. So I think that's where the disconnect is, and why saying you like a black woman is like controversial, because it doesn't fit the standards of femininity that we've grown up with. You know what I mean? So, and I'm just exhausted, quite frankly, like, of, like, because again, like I said, I feel like black guys could date whoever they want. It's not, like, weird. But with black girls, it feels weird. It feels weird for a lot of different reasons. Because they say, like, black love and, like, we have to stick together. But then black guys have been dating outside the race for years. Like, basketball players in particular. Like, for years. And they're not going to stop. And I think it has to do with, like, a, like, dominance thing. With black girls, it's like, okay, I don't want to say that word. Great. By slave masters. Like, that's the history why particularly like a white guy dating a black girl is like wrong. But so were black men. Of course, they never take male victims seriously, and they think more of like a black guy dating a white girl is more like, oh, he won, like he got the other, like the enemy side's girl. But when a black girl does it, it's like somehow betrayal, which is odd and frustrating and weird. And the only reason I'm like pertaining this to like dating so much is because like obviously if my friends think I'm pretty for a black girl, I just drop them. But like when I'm trying to meet guys and like talk to people, you know what I mean, like you saying some weird shit like that is just, it lets me know you don't actually care about me as a person. And it feels like when you say like pretty for a black girl, it's like basically you're saying like, oh, I feel bad for you, like I pity you, so I'm going to like do some charity work and say I like you. Like that's what it feels like. And like when they like, particularly me, when they be saying like the features they like about me and stuff, it was like I'm being like auctioned off or some shit. Like I don't know if you've seen like, literally, this is like not me making it up, like with the auctioning off shit. There's black girls who have just posted themselves like just looking cute, and then someone will literally write in the comments of like, oh, you know, I would have bought you back in the day, like I wish you were being sold, like some wild crazy shit like that. Because when you say being pretty for a black girl, that's really what you're saying. And I feel like anyone who has like is close to white, obviously they have like the advantage of being like more beautiful, like off rip. And black girls, we have to prove ourselves like so much to be considered pretty. Like even like I hate when people like, because I don't know, it's like they act like there's no beautiful black girls, so they say like the same 3 people, Naomi Campbell, SZA, and notice how those are all the like unambiguously black girls, and you can tell like they're not mixed with anything. Like particularly I hate when people say like it literally just be a black girl, like brown skin to dark skin, and then she'll just have a big nose, and then people are like, you look like SZA. You know damn well she don't look like SZA. Like don't play with me, bro. She don't look like SZA just because she got a big nose and is brown skin. And it also just shows how we literally have like no representation. And it's like, maybe if we started making, like, saying like black women are pretty and like not comparing to animals and like food items, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. So that's all I got. That was a depressing topic. I have to go to class and catch the train. This is the fit. Gonna wear my boots. It's going to be 32 degrees, but my school has a lot of heat, so I'm just gonna be wearing, I don't know, wear some type of jacket over this. Yeah, I don't know why my lips look so small. You know, I try to do this. Oh, and then last thought is like, I feel like this could go into colorism too. Like, there's so many different things that this could go into. But yeah, this could go into colorism too, where also like lighter skinned black girls are considered more pretty. So it just keeps putting you, the more like unambiguous you look, the more unattractive you are, and the more like people only say you're pretty for like saying like activist reasons and like trying to like, look, I'm a good person because I like these people who are considered undesirable by most. Like, get the fuck out. Yeah. So love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I'm sorry, it's just hard to keep like a thought when I'm making these videos. When I'm getting ready for school. But I just want to say this really quick before I go. Black girls, because we're all pretty black girls here. I don't know, my audience is all black girls, but to the black girls who watch me, you're beautiful, and don't let anybody else tell you you're not, because we literally create half the beauty standards. All these girls get their bodies done to look like us. Like, we're the fucking standard, whether they believe it or not. And the reason they're saying that you're just pretty for a black girl is because they're insecure and jealous of you, and they want to be you, and they're mad that they can never look like you. And even to the black girls who are like skinny and don't fit the like black woman beauty standard that does exist, you're beautiful too, and you're valid too, and you're not like wanting to look white because of that. So I should have said that in the video. I have to go catch the train. Love you.